Hi, my name is Hannah Reeser, and for my research project, I actually chose to do online education as my topic. And after talking to Dr. Ashton Edgehouse, I actually decided to tweak it a little bit and make it more geared towards online education versus public education, so I could look at into both and compare. I chose to do this because my boyfriend's mom actually has two sons, and one of which went all the way through high school or elementary school through high school, all in public school. And then another son who went third grade through his senior year and graduated from an online school. So I thought, what better way to create primary research on online education than talking to a mother that had students go through both online and public, all within 1 year apart. So to begin, I found a quote from Jean Piaget, and his quote was, "The principal goal of education in the schools should be creating men and women who are capable of doing new things, not simply repeating what other generations have done." And I think that that is so inspiring, not only because it's just a good thing to do as a teacher and as a future teacher, but because we know that past generations have done such a thing. Because before, all schools, all teachers, it was all face to face. They were all in a classroom setting, seeing each other every single day for 180 days of the school year. Where now we have teachers that are able to teach their students by never seeing them ever. They can do complete all through online from different states all the time. And it's just a common thing nowadays. So we know that past generations have done what Jean Piaget said so long ago. Okay, so through doing research, I found that to compare an online education versus a public education is pretty difficult. There are so many advantages and disadvantages to both that it's just hard to actually compare. And you really have to take into consideration the different situations that, like, families, students, the people are going through. There's no way to just be able to compare those two things unless you almost talk to someone that's experienced both, like a student that has done both. Like myself, only going through public school, except for taking some online courses my senior year of high school, it's very hard for me to say, like, oh, I definitely think that public school is better, because I actually haven't experienced the full aspect of the online education world too. So, okay, so through my primary research, I actually interviewed, like I said, my boyfriend's mom, Jennifer Borowitz. Like I said, she has two sons, one that went online, one that went public. So just a little background knowledge about them. The older son is 20 years old. He graduated in 2017, and the younger son is now 18 years old, and he graduated in 2018. Wait, no, the older son graduated in 2017. The younger son graduated in 2018. Sorry. So they only graduated 1 year apart. So the information that she gathered was very similar. Like, they were in school at the same time, except for that very last year. So her older son was actually considered a typical learner. He had no learning disabilities and he was fine in school. He struggled a little bit, but not anything. He had no learning disabilities. Where her younger son, he actually was diagnosed with a sensory integration disorder going into third grade. So that's whenever the parents sat down and they had a conversation and just said, look, like, I don't think the public school is working for him. It was just a very hard, he couldn't get dressed for school, he wouldn't go to school. So they were like, let's put him in online and see how that goes for this year. They put him in online, third grade, loved it. They struggled to find a school that worked for him. But once they found ECOT in fifth grade, he loved it. So the first thing I asked her was, would you choose a public or an online education for the student's benefit? And immediately she said online, because the online school dealt better and understood the student with the disabilities more. She said the teachers were always there for him and they were always there for the students who could not go to school, and they still encouraged that social interaction among the online students. They were always having them video chat and come into groups and stuff. She said her older son actually struggled in school at the local public school as well, but he never had much assistance or help either. And she said she understands all school systems are different, but that was just her experience with it. And I think that's difficult for a mother too, because she sees her one son online with a disability just succeeding so well and getting so much assistance, while her typical son is struggling in school at a public school and isn't getting the assistance he needed. So I really see why she has such a strong opinion on that online education. So A little background knowledge about ECOT. Her younger son did go there from 5th grade all the way through January of 2018 when he only had 4 months left till he graduated. So it was actually shut down by the government because of falsifying the number of students that were actually attending the school. They were saying such and such number was attending the school, although some of those kids weren't even signing in, which you had to do every day to be like a member of the school and actually attending. So ECOT was actually known as the Educational Classroom of Tomorrow, and it was in Ohio. It was actually the largest online school in Ohio, and it was very well known through public school teachers and the online school world. So well known and very looked up to. So when this happened, it was very sudden. And actually, when her son was going to graduate in May, he had 4 months left. So they actually closed down on a Wednesday, and by that following Monday, they were expected to have a new school. And they didn't help her at all. She really, really struggled during that time to find him a school to go to for just 4 months, an online school that would accept him for just 4 months and have him graduate from there. And they were fortunate enough to do so. But it was a hard time for them. So also not a fun fact, but a fact about ECOT was, according to Karen Kasler with WOSU Public Media, Ohio schools lost nearly $600 million to ECOT since 2012, which is averaging $1 million per year that could have been going into public schools and helping them not be as poverty-stricken. But instead it was going to this online school. They didn't even have as many students going there as they said. So that's when they lost a lot of respect for ECOT, and that's when they got shut down, was in 2018, whenever all of that came about. But like I said, Jennifer said that it was honestly a great program. She said it always took really good care of the students. She said that they were on top of things. He had to log in every morning and they had to see his face. They had all kinds of different strategies to know that the students were engaging and they were participating. So I thought that was very good, and she really had lots of good things to say about them and online schooling in general. So in conclusion, I think there are benefits to both traditional and online schooling. I don't think there's any way to choose. There should not be a stigma that, public school is always going to be better than online school, or online school is always going to be better than public school. It comes down to the particular situation and what will best suit a certain child and their family. You can't just generalize. It's not something that can be generalized in our society to say this one is so much better than the other. It's not. There's not a factual one, certain set of statistics to say this is better, because it's unable to be done. So I really think I have had my eyes opened greatly in talking to her and just hearing about the different experiences with online and public schools. And I just think that it's just too hard to actually distinguish which one is better. So thank you for listening. Bye.